Welcome to Disney's Art of Animation Resort. I'm Kenzie and I am so excited to be here with you today to share a complete overview of this amazing value resort at Walt Disney World. This resort is unique for so many reasons, but one of those reasons is all the different types of rooms that they have here and all the different types of themed rooms that they have available. They have standard rooms and they have family suites. And I'm going to be taking you on tours today of every single room type so that you can see them and so that you can see the different themes. I'm also going to be taking you section by section so that you can see the different sections and what they have to offer. And I'm also going to cover all of the amenities. So truly, you're going to walk away from this video with everything you need to know about this resort. The family suites are larger accommodations, which is great for certain people that are looking for those. However, there is a caveat. They are extremely expensive. They are on par with some deluxe standard room pricing. So a lot of people do ask themselves if it's truly worth paying the price for those rooms or not. So I'm also going to be answering that question for you today. Whether you are considering staying in a standard room or one of the family suites, the goal of this video is for you to be able to walk away and confidently be able to make a decision on if this resort is the right fit for you and your traveling party for your next trip to Walt Disney World. We have a lot to cover, so let's get this magic started. Art of Animation is a wonderfully themed resort. In fact, it has some of the best theming in all of Walt Disney World. It is themed after Disney and Pixar films, and Disney uses bright colors and larger-than-life theming to bring the films to life. Like the name, Art of Animation offers a nod to the entire animation process. You will find artwork from the initial pencil sketches all the way through completed ink and paint drawings throughout this resort. This resort is great for families with young kids or anybody that is a kid at heart. The larger-than-life theming and storytelling of this resort really makes you feel like you are in the middle of a Disney movie or a Disney story, and it is so incredible. You really feel like you are never leaving the Disney bubble when you stay at this resort. There are 1,120 family suites at this resort, and there are 864 standard rooms. The resort itself is approximately 87 acres to give you a feel on the size. There are 4 main themed areas at this resort. One area is themed after The Little Mermaid, another is themed after The Lion King, another after Finding Nemo, and another after Cars. It is really important to note that The Little Mermaid is the only section that offers standard rooms. The other sections are the ones that only offer the family suites. So just so you know, as we are previewing each of the sections, I don't want you to get your heart set on something that isn't in your budget or isn't what you expected it to be. So I did want to mention that up front for you. You're also definitely going to want to subscribe because in my next video, I am going to go further in depth in each of these sections, and I'm going to tell you the best rooms to request for each of these sections. I have done this for all of the resort overviews I have done so far, and it has been so popular. So you're definitely going to want to stay tuned for that and make sure you subscribe. If you have ever dreamed of going under the sea with the Little Mermaid and seeing all of her gadgets and gizmos aplenty, then you are in luck because the Little Mermaid section at this resort does not disappoint. There is so much beautiful theming and tons of little treasures to appreciate. Upon arrival in this section, you will be greeted by a statue of Prince Eric himself. You will also see several of Ariel's treasures on display. My personal favorite is her dinglehopper. Each of the sections of this resort forms an interior courtyard of sorts, and inside each of the courtyards, you will see larger-than-life characters on display. In the Little Mermaid section, you will see Sebastian leading his orchestra. There is also a larger-than-life King Triton, Ariel, Flounder, Ursula, and more. This is a super minor detail, but this section is the only section that has rooms that are open to the outside. All of the other sections that have the family suites will have interior hallways that you can walk inside to enter and exit your room. This section has its own pool, and it is called the Flippin Fins Pool. You will see Sebastian outside of this pool conducting his own under-the-sea orchestra. Each of the pools at Art of Animation have laundry services available right next to them. So if you do need to do laundry during your trip, you have a place to do that here pretty easily, which is super nice. Also, the restrooms that are right by the pool are unique because they also offer showers so you can get ready and shower off if you need to, which is great for check-in or check-out day if you want to utilize the pool. They also have a couple of lockers that you can utilize, and they even have some amenities that you can use in the showers, which is also super nice. Because Art of Animation is a value resort at Walt Disney World, it does not have any water slides or hot tubs, but I do think that the fun theming really makes up for this fact. Art of Animation also has 3 pools, which is super nice. I would rank the Flippin Fins Pool 2 out of 3 on the busyness scale if you are wondering, and of course I will show you all 3 pools during our video today. The Little Mermaid section is great for any Little Mermaid lover, and you can see why. The theming is so fun, it has a pool, and it just has so much to offer. It also has the standard rooms, which are the cheapest option here at Art of Animation, and they don't skimp on the theming at all. It is absolutely beautiful and makes you really feel like you are part of Ariel's world. However, there is one thing that a lot of people will be talking about online when it comes to this section. It is something that a lot of people do not like, and that something is its location. It is furthest away from all of the main amenities at Art of Animation Resort, and some people do not like that you have to walk a little bit further if you are staying in this section. However, if I have learned anything during this journey, I have learned that how far something is very subjective depending on the person, their circumstances, and what they are looking for. So I want to put this into perspective for you so you know exactly how far you will be walking if you do stay in this section. The walk to Animation Hall, which houses the resort's main amenities, including the food court and the only bus station, as well as the lobby and the arcade. It's also really close to where the main feature pool is around a 10-minute walk if you are staying in the furthest building away from Animation Hall. And it could be much shorter if you are in a building that is closer as well. The walk itself is really only around 0.3 miles, just to put it into perspective, so it's really not that far away in my opinion. The walk to the Skyliner is a little bit further. It is a 0.4-mile walk away, or about a 14-minute walk if you are walking at an average pace. The first time that we stayed in the Little Mermaid section, I was actually really surprised about how short the walk was because of how much discourse there is online about this topic. I was thinking for sure that we'd be walking for like 20 minutes to get to anything. However, that is just not the case, and it is really simple, and it's really not that far in the grand scheme of things compared to some other resorts. However, I do know that every step counts after long Disney days, and those walks can feel a lot longer after you have been on your feet walking several miles, especially for longer trips and several days in a row. And I also totally understand that there are different circumstances that each person has that may make those walks feel longer. So I did want to mention the exact mileage and estimate in terms of minutes, just to put it into perspective for all of you. It is time for the moment you have all been waiting for. We are going to go under the sea, and Ariel is going to show us her world, and we are going to get a room tour and see all of the treasures she has in store for us. Most Little Mermaid Standard rooms have 2 queen beds and sleep up to 4 adults. I say most because there are a handful of standard rooms that have 1 king bed that sleep up to 2 adults. There are hidden Mickeys throughout this room, so comment below if you can spot them. Every detail is themed to the Little Mermaid in this room. Even the floors look like the ocean. The dresser has plugs and USB outlets. There is a coffee and tea maker, which is a must for any Disney vacation. The left-hand side of the dresser is for storage, and the right-hand side holds the beverage cooler. There is a cute octopus with hooks on the wall and a curtain that divides the bedroom from the bathroom. This is so nice for privacy, and it makes it super easy to get ready in the morning or in the evenings without disturbing others in the room. The bathroom has a single vanity along with some open closet space to hang clothes, a safe, an ironing board, and you can also find an extra pillow and a blanket. There is a shower tub combo that has a separate door, which is great for privacy. There's also a full-length mirror on the back of the door. The shower tiles are perfectly themed to Ariel's grotto, and it is so fun to see her magical treasures. You will also find the fan favorite H2O products on the wall of the shower. There's also a little clothing line if you need an extra spot for bathing suits or clothes to dry. Your eyes are not deceiving you. This picture of Prince Eric is intentionally hung at an angle. There are so many little details to appreciate in this room. One of my favorite touches are the light up pearls on the seashell headboards. You can even find your favorite fish friends singing around the mirror in the seating area, along with the sheet music to Under the Sea. This room is adorable and it is perfect for any Little Mermaid lover. Aren't those rooms fantastic? Get it? Fantastic? Fantastic? All right, I'm sure you get it, but nonetheless, I really do love those rooms. They are so beautifully themed and well done, and I don't know if it's my nostalgia for the Little Mermaid or what it is, but I just love them so much. They are truly perfect for any Little Mermaid lover. Okay, it is now time to head over to the next section where we are going to talk about our first section of family suites. So let's get this magic started. Since we are heading over to the sections with family suites, I wanted to take a moment to tell you a little bit about them. The family suites are a fantastic option if you are looking for more space because they can sleep up to 6 people. They also have 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, which is great, especially if you want to spread out or have your own space depending on your traveling party and what it is that you are looking for. They also have kitchenettes that also have a microwave and a mini cooler as well. So a lot of people do love that, and that's also a huge selling point for a lot of people. To put the size into perspective for you, they are around 565 square feet, and that is around the same size as putting 2 standard rooms together. So there is definitely enough space to spread out and enjoy them, which is also super nice. They are great for anyone really that just wants that extra space and maybe some privacy or anything like that. However, I will say most of the common use cases and archetypes that really enjoy these the most are people that are going on multi-generational trips, people that are coming here with friends and just want a little bit more space, but most commonly are families with small kids because they can go to sleep early and you don't have to worry about disturbing them. You can watch TV, you can relax, you can get ready for the next day, and you don't have to worry about waking up the kids. So that part is also truly fantastic. I can't wait to show you these sections and of course show you all of the different rooms because they are truly so cute. You're gonna love them all. Everything the light touches is our kingdom in this section, and that is because we are officially in the Lion King section.
Everything the light touches is our kingdom.
This section is so popular, and you can probably see why just from Mufasa alone behind me on Pride Rock. It is so well themed, and you will see several of your favorite Lion King characters throughout this section. And that brings me to a really good point. You can visit any of these sections no matter where you are staying, and you can take pictures along the way and go say hi to any of your favorite characters that you can find throughout this resort, and many people take advantage of it. The Lion King section is one of the most popular, and for good reason. You can see Rafiki as you enter one side of this section. You can also see Scar sitting on the outskirts, ready to pounce on anyone that does not like Disney magic. You can also see Simba, Timon, and Pumbaa dancing on the log, just like from the iconic film. It really does kind of put you in the middle of the film, and I just love all of the details in this section. And every little thing is truly themed in all of the sections here. I'm sure you've been noticing as I have been sharing various clips, but everything down to the plants in this section is themed, and even the stairwells, they cover them with various different things at this resort, such as a sketch pad with different sketches of characters that are relevant to each of the section, or in this section there's even some rock work that sort of covers them as well, and it just makes this resort so charming and even more visually appealing, and I really love all of the little details. Mufasa is also standing guard over one of the fire pits where you can roast marshmallows in the evening. If you are interested in doing that, then make sure you check the resort's activity schedule to see what time it is happening. You can have as many marshmallows as you want. They They are free as long as your adult says that you can have more, you can have more. They are essentially unlimited. You also get a stick to roast them on for free, which is also super nice. However, if you want a full-fledged s'more, you will have to either buy a s'mores kit or you will have to bring your own supplies. The s'mores kits are only $7, so they aren't too bad. However, all they include are 2 Mickey-shaped graham crackers, 2 pieces of chocolate, and 1 square marshmallow. So that is something to be aware of. It is definitely a fun activity to check out, and I feel like this resort is particularly cool because the smoke kind of going up to Pride Rock just is a really cool effect. So it's definitely worth checking it out at least one night if you are at the resort during the time this is happening. You truly will have no worries if you stay in this section. I know I mentioned this earlier, but all of the family suites have interior entrances and exits, so basically hallways, and there is air conditioning and or heat depending on what the weather is like outside. And I know it is such a small thing, but for some reason it just makes it feel even more deluxe and even more special, so I did want to note that for you as well. Okay, it is time for the moment you have all been waiting for. Let's go see how wild this room truly is. When you enter the Lion King family suite, you are greeted by this table fit for a king. The coolest part about this table is you can pull it down and it transforms into a double-sized bed. There are also 2 nightstands on either side of the bed. The floors have a cool pebble texture, adding to the theming of this fun suite. The living room area has a sofa that pulls out into another double-sized bed, along with a TV, a dresser, and some open closet space. There is also a kitchenette with a microwave, a beverage cooler, a sink, and a coffee and tea maker. The first bathroom has a pocket door, and it also has a single vanity. The mirror and lights have fun theming. There's a door separating the toilet and the shower tub combo area, and you can find Timon and Pumbaa washing up on the shower curtain. The primary bedroom is large. It has a queen bed and 2 nightstands along with a TV and a dresser. A pack and play could easily fit in this room if you have young kids. A door separates the primary bedroom from the rest of the suite, which is a nice touch. The primary bathroom is a little larger and it has a single vanity area. There's a walk-in shower with the iconic Lion King sunrise on the tile. You will definitely have no worries if you decide to book this beautiful suite. Could you feel the love for that room? I know I could, and if you couldn't, then what's the motto with you?
What's the motto?
Nothing. What's the matter with you?
In all seriousness, the Lion King section is so much fun. The theming is amazing, and you can tell how popular it is just by walking through it. Everyone has huge smiles on their faces. They're taking beautiful photos that will last a lifetime, and it is relatively a pretty good location compared to the Little Mermaid section. It is closer to all the resort's main amenities and all of those sorts of things, so that part is really nice. However, there are some considerations to take into account. This section does not have a pool, which can be a pro or a consideration just depending on what's important to you, of course, but that is one important thing that I wanted to point out. However, it does technically have a quote-unquote playground. However, I'm not really sure that I even feel comfortable categorizing it that way, even though Disney technically does, so I did want to point it out to you. It's called the Elephant Graveyard, but all it really is some squishy material for your little one to run in, and they can kind of run in and out of the bones that are in the quote-unquote graveyard, and that's basically all it is. There isn't a traditional slide or anything else that you would traditionally find in a playground, and it is also an extremely small section of the Lion King section itself, so just something to keep in mind. Although there is no formal pool in the Lion King section, it is in very close proximity to the feature pool at this resort, the Big Blue Pool, which I will be showing you shortly. And it's also located pretty close to the Flippin Fins Pool as well in the Little Mermaid section. So it's not too far away from a pool if a pool is important to you. So I did want to mention that as well. And of course, no matter which section you are staying in at this resort, you can use any of the pools. So that is also a huge pro. And that goes for any resort at Walt Disney World. You can use any of the pools at the resort that you are staying at, no matter which section of the resort you are staying in. Another important thing that I wanted to point out is that every building at Disney's Art of Animation Resort has elevators. Yay! Not every resort at Walt Disney World does. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but it is true, and I always make sure to point that out during our resort tours so that you know, because I know elevators are important to so many people for so many reasons. So this is a huge pro for this resort. You will have an elevator no matter which building or which section you are staying in at this resort. Well, we just kept swimming and we ended up in the Finding Nemo section of this resort. I love this section for so many reasons, and it is a fan favorite for several reasons as well. One of the primary reasons it's a fan favorite is because of its location. It is the most centrally located section in terms of being close to the things that everyone wants to be close to. It's super close to Animation Hall, where the resort's main amenities are, so that's where the only food court is located, as well as the gift shop and the buses that will take you to 2 of the parks. And it's also located super close by to the Skyliner, which is another form of Disney transportation that we're going to cover later in this video. But just know that this is the most sought after location. So for that reason alone, the Finding Nemo rooms are always the highest cost because everyone wants to be in the middle of the action. And you're also located super close by to the Big Blue Pool, which is one of the biggest pools in all of Walt Disney World, which we are going to talk about shortly. The theming of this section mimics the sea, and it makes you feel like you have stepped into the big blue world of the Finding Nemo films. There are beautiful pops of aquatic colors everywhere you look. You can see several sea creatures, including Bruce the shark, who just so happens to be overlooking the pool, which is so fitting, on the walls of the building in this section. You will also see seagulls that are cleverly disguising the stairwells of this section, and you may want to keep your ears open because every once in a while you might just hear their famous line of mine, mine, mine. There are several really fun things that are included in this section. You will find a kiosk that offers hair braiding, airbrush tattoos, and henna for an additional fee. The Finding Nemo section is also home to the feature pool at Art of Animation, and it is called the Big Blue Pool. The name of the pool is super fitting because it just so happens to be the biggest pool in all of Walt Disney World. It holds over 308,000 gallons of water. Of course, it is themed to Finding Nemo, and you will see several fun characters inside of the pool area and several small nods to the film as well. So definitely keep your eyes open and feel free to explore a little bit so you don't miss out on any of those fun little storytelling elements that just make the pool extra special. There is also a zero entry entrance, which makes it super easy for little ones to get in and out of the pool, which is also a huge pro as well. The maximum pool depth is 4 feet 11 inches, which is the maximum pool depth for all 3 pools at Disney's Art of Animation Resort. It is also the most crowded out of the 3 pools since it is the feature pool. I also like to call it the fun pool because it's always vibing, music is always playing, and everyone is always having a grand old time at this pool. So if you like to be at a pool that is in the middle of the action, then this pool is for you. This is also the only pool where recreational cast members will come and play games with the kids during certain times of the day. So if that is something you're interested in, make sure you check the activities calendar to see what times that will be happening during your stay. The games do vary pretty widely, but to give you an idea of kind of what to expect, there are things like trivia, games that are both inside of the pool, out and outside of the pool, as well as various relays and music games and all sorts of really fun things. So I highly do recommend checking that out if that is something your kids are interested in during your stay. Inside the pool restrooms, you will find everything that you also saw at the Little Mermaid pool restrooms. There are some showers if you need to shower off and get ready, as well as some basic amenities to help you do so, as well as some lockers. So that part is really nice. There are also laundry services available right by this pool as well if you need to do any laundry during your trip. There is also an adorable splash pad area called the Schoolyard Spray Ground, and this splash pad is often voted one of the best in all of Walt Disney World by Disney fans, so it's definitely worth checking out if you have a child that is younger that would enjoy a splash pad area. It has pop-up jets, gushing water, and more familiar faces from Finding Nemo. The Finding Nemo section is also home to another fun thing. It is home to Squirt's Righteous Reef Playground. This playground is suitable for ages 5 to 12, and it does have a rubber ground and some fun slides. It's a great place for kids of that age to run off some extra energy, and it is so well themed and so cute. So I definitely recommend checking that out during your time here if your children fall in that age range. We are going to just keep swimming our way over to the room so that you can have a room tour of this fantastic suite.
Just keep swimming, everything will be okay.
You will notice that all of the family suites at Art of Animation look the same with different theming. This room is themed to Finding Nemo. Even the floors are themed to the ocean and have some fun pops of coral on them. The dining area seats 4, and the bed can be pulled down into a double-sized bed if needed. This bed has Nemo and his dad cuddling, and it will definitely melt your heart. The lights in this room are made out of bubbles, and it is such a cute touch. The living room has a couch that pulls out into a double-sized bed if needed. You can also request bed rails, pack and play, and/or a crib before your stay if you need them for your little ones. It is important to request them beforehand because quantities are limited and they are not guaranteed. But the good news is that Disney is typically able to accommodate these requests. The living room also has a dresser, a TV, and some open closet space. The way these suites are set up are so smart and so intentional. It really does feel like 3 separate sleeping areas. The kitchen area has a microwave, sink, a coffee/tea maker, and a beverage cooler. There are also some other helpful basics like paper towels, plates, and cups. The first bathroom has a pocket door for privacy, and it also has a single vanity and super cute theming. There is a second door that separates the toilet and bathtub shower combo area. The shower curtain has Dory on it along with Bruce and some other under the sea friends. This bathroom feels like you swam right into the fish are friends and not food seen from the film. There are also H2O products on the wall in here, just like all of the other showers at this resort. The primary bedroom is large, and the bedside lamps are little jellyfishes. The bed in this room is a queen bed, and it's raised, so you can easily store your luggage underneath, just like all of the other queen beds in the primary bedrooms in these family suites. There is another dresser in this room that is perfect for storage and a second TV. You will also find some open closet space, a safe, an iron, and an ironing board. The primary bathroom is larger than the first, and it has the same fun theming. The mirror looks like a porthole, and you can even find the famous mantra, "Fish are friends, finish it with me, not food," etched on it. There is also a toilet and a glass stand-up shower in this bathroom. Overall, I think it's safe to say that the Finding Nemo family theme suites totally rock. That room is totally sweet, dude. Honestly, there aren't many considerations to staying in the Finding Nemo section because it is so centrally located, and who doesn't love Finding Nemo? However, I will say the biggest consideration is probably its proximity to the big blue pool. Because it is the feature pool, it is the most crowded and also the loudest pool. So if you end up with a room that is facing the pool, you might be able to hear a little bit of noise from your room. However, I do feel like the rooms do a pretty good job of dampening it, but I also know that some people are more sensitive to it than others. And if you do plan to take breaks during the day, or if you have kids that need to nap or you need to nap during the day, it is something to take into consideration. If you still want to stay in this section, you can always request a room on the outside of the building because those are definitely much more quiet than the ones that are facing the pool. All right, it is time to just keep swimming over to our next section, which just so happens to be my personal favorite section. We have officially raced on over to the Cars section of this resort, and I love this section of the resort so much. As soon as you walk into the section, you are welcomed by a huge billboard saying "Welcome to Radiator Springs," which of course is from the film, which brings me to another point. I highly recommend that you see the films that are associated with the different themed areas of this resort before you stay here so that you can have a little bit of a deeper appreciation for everything. And if your kids have never seen them before, it will help them get more excited when they do see these larger than life characters around the resort. So that is definitely a pro tip of mine. As soon as you enter, it looks like you are on a road and you see so many fun themed details and so many characters that are larger than life Cars characters throughout this section as well. You will see Sheriff ready to pull anybody over on the side of the road. You will also see several more Cars characters as you make your way through this section. You will see Lightning McQueen and Sally out of the Wheel Well Motel. It is so beautifully themed. And you'll even see Sarge outside of Sarge Surplus Hut. You will also find Tow Mater and Doc in this section, as well as Fillmore herself in front of an organic fuel station, which is just so fitting. You'll even see Luigi himself in front of Luigi's Casa della Tires, so that is super cute and fun as well. Even the signs in this section are themed to Route 66, which is such a fun and cute detail. You will really feel like you are on a special road trip as you adventure and drive your way through this section of the resort to appreciate all of the cars and all of the little storytelling elements and details. There is also a Cozy Cone Motel sign that is spinning right outside of the pool. And as you walk through the office of this motel, that is the entrance to the pool. And there are a lot of really small details to appreciate from the film as you enter. So keep an eye out and definitely check them all out because it is so fun. And truly the theming, I just can't get over it. It's so, so good. I highly recommend this section for anyone that is a Cars fan. The Cozy Cone Pool is located in this section and it is the smallest of the 3 pools at Art of Animation Resort. The pool is in the shape of a wheel well. This pool is considered a leisure pool at Disney's Art of Animation Resort, meaning splashing and loud noises are discouraged. However, just like the Little Mermaid pool, it definitely does happen because this resort is geared more towards children, and that is totally okay. They also do play music at this pool, which is something that not all leisure pools do at Walt Disney World. However, it's not loud or anything. It's still a great spot to relax, especially because it's never really that crowded, which is another huge pro of this pool as well. One unique thing about the pools at Disney's Art of Animation Resort is that there are lifeguards at all 3 pools. It's typically not that way at every resort. Usually the leisure pools do not have lifeguards on duty. However, they do here. And of course, this is always subject to change. So keep that in mind. But as far as like what is currently happening, there are lifeguards on duty at all 3 pools, which is a huge pro if you have little ones, just so you can have a second pair of eyes on them while they are in the water. There are 8 Cozy Cone cabanas that surround this pool. And the best part about that is there is usually one free throughout the day because this is the least popular pool. So I highly recommend coming over here if you are looking for a shady spot or if you're having a hard time finding one at one of the other pools. It is a nice way to just luxuriate and to relax by the pool. The best news about these cabanas is that they are completely free and they are on a first come, first served basis. So that's another huge pro. There are so many small things like that at Disney's Art of Animation Resort that I feel like really elevates the resort as a whole and makes it worth paying a little bit more for. There is also a place to do your laundry called Turbo Wash Laundromat located right by the Cozy Cone Pool. So that's really nice if you need to do laundry. And of course, the bathrooms have the same setup as the other pools do. They have the lockers, the showers with some light amenities in case you do need to get ready. And all of those bathrooms are accessed by your Magic Band or by Magic Mobile. So you do need essentially a digital hotel key in order to get into those shower rooms, which is also a really nice added touch for added security. Another thing that I wanted to mention about the pools at Walt Disney World is you don't have to bring your own towels from home or from the room. They have tons of towels in bins located at every pool at Walt Disney World, and you're welcome to take as many as you need, use them during your pool time, and then you can just throw them in the bin as you are exiting the pool area and you are good to go. We have officially raced our way into the Cars-themed family suite. The table area is perfectly themed to the film, and it is covered in Radiator Springs-themed signs. The table folds down into a double-sized bed, and you can see Mater sleeping soundly with the Cadillac range shining behind him in the moonlight. The living room area has a sofa resembling a 50s-style convertible car bench that pulls out into a double-sized bed. The kitchenette area will make you feel like you are in an auto shop. It's complete with a microwave, a beverage cooler, sink, along with the coffee and tea maker as well. You will truly feel like you are staying in the Cozy Cone in this magical suite. The lampshades in the living room are traffic cones, and even the curtains have a traffic cone pattern on them. The retro-style table has a map of Route 66 and also features Radiator Springs. There is a TV in the living room along with a tool cart dresser and an open closet space. The bathrooms in the suite give me major Flo's VA Cafe vibes. In the smaller bathroom, there is a toilet and a shower tub combo. The shower curtain has red, spraying down Lightning McQueen. There's also a retro-themed car wash single vanity area that helps you get spiffy in a jiffy. The tiling in the bathroom has retro stripes and bubbles on the wall, and that teal color really just reminds me of the perfect shade of Flo's VA Cafe. The primary bedroom has a queen bed along with cozy cone lamps. The nightstands also have Radiator Springs postcards printed on them. There's another TV and a dresser in this room. There are also more postcards printed on top of the dresser. You will see another open closet area in this room along with a safe. The primary bathroom has the same fun theming as the living room bathroom does, except it is just slightly larger and of course has the stand-up shower instead of the shower tub combo. This suite is turbocharged with Cars magic, and I couldn't love it more. Ka-chow! So now you can see why the Cars section is my favorite. If you are a fan of the Cars film franchise, you are going to love this section. It truly feels like you've been transported into Radiator Springs, and I just love it so much. I personally think the theming is the best in the Cars section, and I just can't wipe this smile off of my face when I'm over there enjoying it. So I wanted to share it with all of you. I will say that it is the most popular section out of the 3 sections here at Disney's Art of Animation Resort. So if you want this section in particular, make sure you book as early as possible so that you can hopefully secure it for your trip. I don't really feel like there are many considerations to this section. However, some people don't really care for the pool that's over there since it is the smallest of the 3 and it is kind of a unique shape. However, I will say that it is mere steps away from the big blue pool, so you really are super close to the feature pool as well as all of the resort's main amenities. So in my mind, there are no downsides to picking the Cars section. However, of course, pick the section that speaks the most to your heart and of course those you are traveling with as well. If you are looking to jog or run on your trip to Walt Disney World, you are in luck at this resort because there is a 1.28 mile jogging trail that is around Hourglass Lake, and it is absolutely gorgeous. The views of the lake and the Skyliner, and of course of Disney's Pop Century Resort as well, which is just over the bridge from this resort, and I absolutely love that resort as well. And it's really easy to make that loop longer if you want to run in between the sections, either here at Art of Animation or across the bridge over at Disney's Pop Century Resort. And my favorite thing about running at these 2 resorts is there are fun facts that line the trail. So as you're running by these facts at Art of Animation, the facts will be themed to whatever section you are running by and whatever the theme is. So if you're in the Finding Nemo section, you will see fun facts about Finding Nemo, etc. And if you are over on Disney's Pop Century Resort side, you will see facts about the different decades you're running through. So it's kind of an entertaining and fun thing to do. Even if you're not running on the running trail and you're just walking, it is fun to read them and kind of share the facts with different members of your party as well. This leads me to another huge pro of Disney's Art of Animation Resort. You are just over the bridge to Disney's Pop Century Resort, which just so happens to be one of my favorite resorts in all of Walt Disney World. And if you are curious to get more information on that resort, I have done a complete overview on it. I will link it in the corner, and I'll also drop it in the description below so you can watch it after this video if you are curious what is available over there. And it's nice to be able to walk over there and check out their food court or just walk around and check out the theming if you have an off day from the parks or something like that. It is nice sometimes just to get a little bit of a change of scenery. Not that you need it at this resort because it is beautiful and a lot of fun, but it is nice to have that option. Up next, we have an extremely important topic, and that is transportation. So we are going to talk about the different transportation options that Disney's Art of Animation Resort has in order to get you to the theme parks, the water parks, and of course to Disney Springs as well. Disney's Art of Animation Resort has buses, but it also has the Skyliner as well. And the Skyliner is such a huge advantage, and it is so nice that it is available at a value resort. It truly just makes this resort that much better. And again, it's just one of those extra things that really makes staying here worth it to me personally. As far as the Skyliner is concerned, if you are not familiar, it is Disney's gondola system. It will take you directly to Disney's Hollywood Studios and to Epcot. The way the Skyliner works is there are different stations and different lines, and there is some transferring involved just depending on where you are going and where you are starting from. However, don't worry, I have made a video that is just about Walt Disney World transportation. So I will link it in the corner, and I will also put it in the description below. So if you haven't been here before, or if you haven't been here in a long time, it's a great video that will teach you everything you need to know about Walt Disney World transportation. The Skyliner station at Disney's Art of Animation Resort is shared with Disney's Pop Century Resort, and you can board a Skyliner at this station and it will take you directly to the transfer station, which will give you a couple of options depending on where you are trying to go. One line will take you directly to Disney's Hollywood Studios, which is so nice because it's such a fast and convenient way to get over to that theme park. The second line will take you to a couple of different places. It will take you over to Disney's Riviera Resort if you want to, which just so happens to be one of my favorite resorts in all of Walt Disney World, so I do recommend checking that resort out if you have the time during your trip. It also will give you the option to continue on over to Epcot, and it will also take you over to the boardwalk area because it takes you to the back of World Showcase, so that way you are kind of like at both locations at the same time, which is really cool. So it's another convenient and fast way to get to a second theme park, as well as have some additional resort options for you to be able to explore. And with these resort options means you have extra dining options that are really easy to get to, and some of these resorts have some excellent dining options if you are looking for a fancier meal, or maybe even a fancier to go kind of like quick service kind of situation. It's really nice to have those options, and it is a huge underrated pro of Disney's Skyliner system. One important thing to know about Disney's Skyliner system is that when there is inclement weather that would close the pool, they also close the Skyliner. So that means lightning detected in the area. Rain alone is typically not enough to close it unless the winds are too high or something like that. So if it is raining, it's probably still running, which is kind of like a crazy thing, but it does happen, just so you know. However, if there is lightning in the area, they will close it temporarily. Whenever that happens, Disney will provide backup bus transportation so that you can still get to wherever it is you're trying to go, or get back to wherever you're trying to get back from. The second form of transportation that is available at this resort are the buses, and the buses will take you everywhere the Skyliner won't take you. So there are buses that will take you to Magic Kingdom, to Disney's Animal Kingdom, and to Disney Springs, which is so nice because all of these forms of transportation are complimentary and super easy to use so that you can get to your destination and can continue on with your magical day. Another huge pro about the buses at Art of Animation Resort is they are not shared with other resorts, so you can get to your magical destination much faster. That is not the case with a lot of other resorts at Walt Disney World, so this is another huge pro of staying at Art of Animation. It is important to note that if the Skyliner is running and is not down for any reason, then there will not be extra buses that will take you to those locations. So if you are trying to go to Epcot or to Hollywood Studios, you have to take the Skyliner if it is running. If it is not running, then there will be backup bus transportation. So that is something important that I do want to mention. And there are some dates every year where it is down for maintenance, and Disney publishes those dates as far in advance as humanly possible. I feel like they're really good about it, and they post them on the resort's pages that have access to the Skyliners. So if the Skyliner is important to you, make sure you double check the homepage. It will be in bright orange if there is any kind of maintenance going on with the dates, so that you know, and you can hopefully get to take advantage of the most magical flight on earth, because I do love it and I feel like it's a really relaxing and fun way to get to the parks. You have heard me reference this a couple of times in today's video. However, I do want to formally cover it with you, and in more depth, of course. And that subject is Animation Hall. Animation Hall is where most of the resort's main amenities are. This is where you will find the check-in desk, the lobby area. The resort's only bus stop is right outside of Animation Hall, the food court, a gift shop, an arcade, and a business center. You can also find bell services right outside of Animation Hall. If you are facing the front of the Art of Animation building, it will be to your right. And this is where you can drop your luggage if your room isn't ready when you are here to check in, or if you are checking out and still want to hang out around the resort, you can drop your luggage there. They also will accept grocery deliveries, which I know I've talked about in previous videos. So if you do have groceries to pick up, that is the spot where you would pick them up as well. So it's a good location to know about. The lobby is beautiful and it is so well themed. Inside, you will see a massive wall that features sketches in various stages. Overhead, a skylight allows light to flood in, and each extension of the chandelier features a drawing. The arcade also has a decent selection of fun games. Most games cost 50 cents to $2 per play. It's a great thing to check out if you are having a resort-only day or if it's raining outside and you are looking to stay inside and have some fun. The gift shop is called the Ink and Paint gift shop. There are tons of Disney souvenirs in this gift shop, as well as anything you might have forgotten to pack. So think about little sundries and things like that as well. And there are a wide variety of drinks and some fun snacks as well if you are looking for anything like that. There is also a small business center that has computers, printers, and copiers for guests to use if you need something like that while you are on your trip. Like all of the value resorts at Walt Disney World, Art of Animation has a food court option as well as a pool bar option when it comes to dining. Let's start by talking a little bit more about the food court option, which is called Landscape of Flavors. This food court is often rated one of the best food court options at Walt Disney World due to the variety of food that it has. It has both adventurous food and simple food, so there really is a little bit of something for everyone. It also has a lot of stations where you can order things that are made to order and you can customize them, like make your own pasta dishes, for example, or pizza or a salad bar and things like that, which is also really, really nice because you won't find that at some of the other options at Walt Disney World that are food courts. When I say adventurous options, I mean adventurous for a food court. So you might find things like Mongolian beef or some kind of seafood pasta, for example. And the more adventurous items do rotate at this resort. So you definitely will want to check the menu once you get here and don't get your heart set on anything too far in advance because those items can change. However, the staples like chicken fingers and hamburgers are always available. So that part is really nice. Because a lot of the food options are made to order and customizable options, that does mean that the lines can get extremely long during popular times. And so one thing that I do recommend as a pro tip is to consider mobile ordering your food here so that you don't have to wait in those long lines. However, a lot of people do know about this pro tip. So definitely make sure you mobile order way in advance of when you actually want to eat and just schedule it for the time that you think you're going to want to pick it up at. And if your plans change or you need to change the time, you can always try to push it out. Sometimes you can't do that. It just depends on the availability, of course. So always try to make your best guess, but that is an option and a feature in My Disney Experience in case you need it. The pool bar at this resort is cleverly named the Drop-Off. And one fun fact about this pool bar is it was named and voted on by cast members, and I absolutely love that fact. You can find some food items available here, but it's primarily known for drinks. Some of the food items are things like pizza, snacks, ice cream, and some limited entrees for limited hours. As far as drinks are concerned, there are non-alcoholic specialty drinks, several cocktails, frozen alcoholic beverages, beer, wine, and sangria here. Every resort at Walt Disney World has recreational activities, and there is a list that will be available for your resort so you can see what is offered during your stay. The activities do vary a little bit by resort, and sometimes they can even change weekly or monthly, so you are going to want to check for the dates that your stay falls on, of course. Some of the things that are considered recreational activities we have already discussed during today's video, such as the marshmallow roasting and the games that the cast members will play with the kids at the Big Blue Pool. Those are things that you will find on the recreational calendar. However, there are some other things that could be available as well, and there are free options as well as paid options on there too. Some things that you might see are things like Mickey tie-dye t-shirts, or occasionally at Art of Animation specifically, there is an art class called Animation Academy that is offered, which is a fun drawing class that is open to all guests. Well, one of the most popular recreational activities is something called Movies Under the Stars. All of the resorts at Walt Disney World have this as an option, and it typically does happen nightly, weather permitting and other factors permitting, of course. But essentially what this is Disney will bring out a huge blow-up screen and they will play a Disney or a Pixar film on the screen, and it is so fun and it is such a magical way to spend an evening if you are looking to do this. If you are curious what movies will be playing during your stay, the movies will be listed on the recreational calendar, and you can see what time and where and what movies will be available during your stay. If you are looking for a recreational calendar / list, you can typically find one at Art of Animation posted right outside of the big blue pool as well as in the lobby. Well, one really unique thing about Disney's Art of Animation Resort is that it is dog friendly. It's one of the few at Walt Disney World that you can bring a dog to. There is a limit of 2 dogs per room, and the cost is $50 at this resort specifically. Some of the resorts do have different costs, so just keep that in mind. However, at Disney's Art of Animation, it is $50 plus tax per dog. So that is something to keep in mind, is the additional cost if you do want to bring your furry friend. It is also important to know that housekeeping will not enter your room unless a human is present. And so you will have to schedule the times that housekeeping comes to your room, which you can do the night before if that is something that you want when your dog is here with you. Another thing to note is there is a special door hanger that you need to put on your door indicating that there is a dog in the room whenever you are outside of the room, so that people do know that fact as well. If you do have someone in your party that has severe allergies to dogs, and this is a concern for you, you can request a room that is not a dog-friendly room and that is not near a dog-friendly room. All you need to do is call Disney, let them know about the allergy, and let them know about your request. One of the most common questions I get asked about Disney's Art of Animation Resort is, are the suites worth the cost? And of course, you are the only one who can truly answer this question. However, I will throw in my 2 cents, I will share my opinion, and I will give you some questions to kind of think on and to consider when you are thinking through your decision. As I mentioned earlier, the cost of the suites are very expensive, and they do rival some of the deluxe resorts and the standard rooms in terms of pricing. So a lot of people are trying to make the decision on, should I stay in a suite or should I stay in a standard room at a deluxe resort? So now that we have that covered, let me dive more into my opinion and my thought process. If you are looking for more space and you don't mind the louder theming, and when I say louder, I mean you don't mind that every square inch is themed, from the carpet to the walls, to the bed, to the pillows, to everything. And also, these will be like brightly colored things and things like that. If you don't mind that, and you are looking for extra space, and you can obviously afford the cost, then yes, I would definitely consider a suite at Disney's Art of Animation. I personally love that theming, but I know it's not for everybody, so I do think it's an important factor to consider when you are making this decision. If space isn't your primary motivator, or you don't mind closer quarters with your party, then you might consider a deluxe resort. Deluxe resorts also offer a step up in pretty much every area. You will have sit-down dining options. You will probably have better dining options. You will probably have nicer pools, better amenities, more amenities, and things like that. And so if you are looking for an experience that feels maybe a little bit more luxurious, and you don't mind the closer quarters with your party, then you might consider the deluxe resort instead. One thing I will note when you are making this decision is there are villa resorts at Walt Disney World that do have 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom options. However, they are extremely expensive. They are about at least 3 times the cost of one of the deluxe suites at Art of Animation. And I know that seems crazy because a lot of people can't even swallow how much the suites cost here. However, that's just the way that it is. You will get all of the deluxe amenities and the deluxe feel and everything like that, and it will be a larger accommodation, and it will be a little bit more of a quiet theme, if you will, but it will cost significantly more. And so for that reason, I do think the suites at the Art of Animation are a good deal, even though I know it may not feel like it. I'm talking about in Disney dollars, of course, and in comparison to other kind of situations that will give you the same amount of space. So for whatever that's worth, I hope that helps. I hope that gives you a couple more things to think through and think about. If you do have questions about your specific situation and you just can't decide, or you just need a couple more points of clarification, then feel free to drop your questions in the comments below and I will get back to you. Overall, I recommend Disney's Art of Animation Resort for anyone who is looking for fun theming for their stay at Walt Disney World. I personally love the theming here. I just think it is so fun to have all of the bright, beautiful colors and the larger-than-life characters all throughout this resort. I love the movies that Disney chose to highlight throughout this resort, and I think it's so fun to walk through the different sections and to take pictures with the different characters and just explore the stories of those movies as well. And I feel like it's the type of resort that would create core memories, especially for little ones or anyone who has an affinity for any of the movies that are represented at this resort. So for all those reasons, I do feel like it is a great option. I do feel like it is worth paying a little bit more for Art of Animation because of the Skyliner access, and of course for the suites to have more space as well. I also love all of the little upgrades that this resort has that other value resorts do not have, such as the free cabanas at the Cars pool and the elevated food court options and things like that. I do think those little details really do add up and they really do go a long way. No matter which resort you choose at Walt Disney World, you are going to have a fantastic vacation. However, if you do choose Disney's Art of Animation Resort, you are going to be making an excellent choice, and it is the perfect place to make memories that will last a lifetime. If you have stayed at Disney's Art of Animation before, let me know which section you stayed in and how you liked it, and if there is another section you are hoping to stay in the future. If you have never stayed at Disney's Art of Animation Resort before and you have any questions, feel free to drop those in the questions below and I will get back to you. If you have any requests for other resorts where you would like me to do a full overview like I did for this one, let me know in the comments below and I will take those requests for you as well. I always love hearing from you. If you found today's video helpful, it would mean so much to me if you would consider liking it and if you would consider subscribing to my channel and hitting the bell notification so you're notified next time I post a magical video. I post exclusively about Disney parks and more specifically about Disney parks planning content, and I would love to see you here again. Also, a huge heartfelt thank you to all of my patrons because without them, this channel would not exist. If you would like to consider joining us, I share a lot of behind the scenes content over there and we'd like to have a lot of fun together, and the link to join will be below. Until next time, I'm Kenzie. See you real soon.